Fashion is more than just fabric stitched together. It's a symbol of identity, social rank, and cultural change. In ancient China, especially during the Song and Yuan dynasties, clothing was more than what people wore. It reflected the structure of society, the values of time, and the blending of diverse cultures. I argue that clothing wasn't just a daily necessity. It was a cultural marker that revealed a great deal about Chinese identity, values, and transformation. The Song dynasty, which lasted from 960 to 1279 CE, was one of the good examples of its culture and clothing. This period was known for its elegance, deep Confucian values, and highly structured social order. Clothing, known broadly as hanfu, was a direct reflection of these ideals. Scholars and officials wore long, dignified robes called daopao, with wide sleeves that represented wisdom and scholarly rank. Women wore ruqing, a two-piece outfit with a long skirt and a fitted jacket, designed to highlight modesty and grace. Hairstyles, too, reflected their social role, a simple buns for younger women, more elaborate styles for married ones. Meanwhile, merchants and commoners wore simpler, practical garments, usually made of hemp or cotton. Silk and intricate embroideries were luxuries reserved for the wealthy, signaling high status and access to fine materials. This connection between fashion and social standing is captured beautifully in the famous painting along the river during the Qingming festival, which gives us a snapshot of everyday life and everyday fashion during the Song era. In 1279, a dramatic shift occurred. The Mongols conquered China and founded the Yuan dynasty. This new regime brought sweeping cultural changes, including in fashion. The Mongol rulers introduced their own styles, blending them with traditional Han Chinese clothing. One example is the Zhi Fu, a robe worn by Yuan emperors that mixed Mongol and Han elements. High-ranking officials adopted fur-lined robes suited to Mongolian tastes, while everyday Han Chinese people continued wearing hanfu. Women's fashion also changed. While Han Chinese women traditionally wore ruqing, many noblewomen during the Yuan era adopted the banbi, a half-sleeve jacket that reflected foreign influence. These styles showcased the cultural integration between the ruling Mongols and the Han Chinese majority. Trade and cultural exchange, especially through the Silk Road, played a major role in shaping fashion. During the Song dynasty, China's silk industry thrived. Exquisite fabrics were exported, and Chinese designs influenced fashion across Asia and beyond. Under the Yuan dynasty, the empire's vast trade networks expanded even further. New patterns, weaving techniques, and textiles from Central Asia and Persia entered China. This made Yuan fashion more diverse than ever, blending styles from across Eurasia. But fashion wasn't just a cultural expression, it was a political tool. Strict sumptuary laws dictated who could wear what. Certain colors, patterns, and fabrics were restricted to specific social classes. An example of these laws would be the Qing dynasties, which didn't allow any other person to wear yellow besides the emperor or any royal family. Even under the Yuan dynasty, Mongol rulers used clothing to assert their dominance over the Han Chinese people, while also adopting certain Chinese styles to legitimize their rule. Fashion in ancient China wasn't just about who wore it. It was also about what it looked like and what those designs meant. Every detail, from the color of the robe to the embroidery stitched into a sleeve, carried meaning. In both the Song and Yuan dynasties, clothing functioned almost like wearable art. Lotus flowers symbolized purity and spiritual awakening, while cranes stood for a long life and wisdom. Even simple waves or cloud patterns had deeper meanings, representing nature, fortune, or cosmic balance. The Song dynasty leaned into subtle elegance. Embroidery was fine and often hidden within folds of silk, whispering messages rather than shouting them. Earthy tones like jade green, light blue, and dusty pink were favored among the literati class, reflecting calmness and restraint. In contrast, Yuan dynasty fashion introduced bolder colors and patterns, influenced by Mongol and Central Asian styles. Clothing became a canvas of cultural fusion. Persian floral motifs and geometric designs appeared alongside traditional Chinese symbols. Fabrics were dyed in deep reds, indigos, and golds, colors that reflected both power and cross-cultural prestige. So what does this tell us? In both the Song and Yuan dynasties, fashion was a reflection of the times, an indicator of identity, status, politics, and cultural exchange. While the Song dynasty celebrated traditional Han clothing and Confucian values, the Yuan dynasty brought new influences, merging Mongol and foreign styles with long-standing Han customs. Today, hanfu is experiencing a revival in modern China. Young people are reconnecting with their heritage, using traditional clothing to express pride in their history. By studying ancient Chinese fashion, we're not just looking at what people wore, we're uncovering the story of who they were and how culture, power, and identity were stitched into every thread.